Corruption is a cancer that eats away at the very fabric of society. It erodes trust, undermines justice, and creates a sense of impunity for those who engage in it. Nowhere is this more evident than in the case of corrupt cops. When those who are sworn to uphold the law break it themselves, it sends a message to the public that no one is above the law. In this video, we'll take a look at the reactions of 6 corrupt cops who were sentenced to life in prison. We'll see how they reacted to hearing their sentences, and we'll discuss the implications of their crimes. This is a powerful and disturbing video, but it's an important one. By understanding the motivations of corrupt cops and their reactions to their crimes, we can better prevent this type of corruption from happening in the first place. Abuse of power and corruption happen in every job. In today's video, we'll look at police officers who were caught being dishonest. Before we get to the first police officer corruption scandal, please hit the subscribe button below. Thanks. Keep in mind that the car was actually a trap, and when he went to check it out, he took pills and over $1,000 in cash. He then said there was nothing in the car, but the police had put the cash and pills in it to trick him. The whole thing was caught on the officer's body cam. A bad cop is caught on tape by his own body camera. This was the main piece of evidence that led to the conviction of a former MTS officer. This month, a police officer was investigating a case involving a missing AR-15. And as Nick Barris of News Channel 5 shows, it ended with a complex sting that was caught on camera. This is former MTSU officer Marco Burke's body cam video of him approaching an abandoned car on campus last year. What he doesn't know is that this is actually an integrity test to see what he would do if he was tempted. He thought Burke had stolen an AR-15 from an MTSU police locker, but couldn't prove it, so Murfreesboro police set up a bait car on campus with some hidden cameras. Officer Burke was given a loan to look into the abandoned car. Watch as he targets a bottle of pills and steals them. He then grabs $1,100 in cash and another bottle of pills. Moments later, he calls dispatch and says, "There are no problems." There were 2 officers there, given 25 and 18 years in prison. This was the biggest corruption case in the history of the Baltimore Police Department. The head of the crooked task force was given 25 years in prison, and another person was given 18 years. Vic Sergeant Wayne Jenkins was sentenced to 25 years in federal jail earlier today, and Detective Marcus Taylor was sentenced to 18 years just now. Taylor gave a long speech to the judge in which he claimed to be innocent and promised to fight the charges. She told the government again what they wanted, even though she feels bad that he thinks he wasn't treated fairly. Sergeant Wayne Jenkins was given a 25-year federal prison sentence because he had a gun and probably 2.25 years worth of cocaine on him. The former head of the corrupt Baltimore Police Gun Trace Task Force cried and apologized for crimes that included at least 10 armed robberies and planting bombs. 2 police officers were arrested for public corruption after they were caught lying about their overtime hours and selling drugs worth $1 million, including prescriptions that were stolen from pharmacies after Fred Gray's death. From what I understand, these officers were stealing taxpayer money by showing up late and leaving early but recording their hours as being different so they could get overtime pay. This is theft of taxpayer money. They are said to have made more than $120,000 doing this. Government prosecutors say it was a plan that went on for years to get extra pay that wasn't earned. The money was supposed to be government funding for highway safety programs like sobriety checks. Daniel Griffin, former captain, and William Robertson, former sergeant, are accused of showing up late for work and leaving early, as well as making false records to cover it up. It looked like they were working the whole extra shift. Griffin and Robertson made sure that all of their co-conspirators entered the same false number of hours, worked into the system and entered false citation times to make it look like they worked the full 4-hour overtime shift, when they really didn't. U.S. Attorney Andrew Ling says they made at least $820,000 in taxpayer money from this scheme. Federal drug charges put police officers in Columbus in jail or put them under arrest. They were caught by the FBI. What's interesting is that these 2 cops are actually drug officers and are now going to jail on federal drug charges. 2 cops in Columbus are in jail on federal drug charges. Catherine Ross from ABC4 is live at police headquarters with what we know about this FBI investigation. Good morning, Honey and Matt. We still don't know a lot about these cases, but we expect to learn more when the cops go to court later today. So far, the city and this section of police have not shared any information. Here's what a source tells us. 4 ropes. Carrie Charles. They say that FBI agents arrested officers John Kochkowski and Marco Moreno on federal drug charges on Tuesday. Both officers work for the city's drug section. According to state prison records, Kochkowski is being held in the Delaware County Jail, and Moreno is at the Corrections Center of Northwest Ohio. Their booking information does not list the charges they are facing. The 2 officers are scheduled to meet with a judge today, and we expect a lot of records and details about these cases to be made public at that time. For now, this is Catherine Ross for NBC4 in Columbus. Chief got a sentence for guarding drug packages. He said that he would keep doing it even if he could go back because he made too much money that way. Another big story we've been watching for months saw some big changes. It was sentence day for Donald Solomon, the former police chief who told undercover agents he was the best cop money could buy. Alan Jennings of Channel 11 is live with the video that led to his conviction and the sentence that was handed down today. Alan got slammed with 11 years and 3 months in prison. He apologized to his children, the FBI, and law enforcement in general for breaking his personal and public trust. The former East Washington police chief left the courthouse with his public defender. Lawyer told him not to talk to me. David Hickton, the U.S. attorney, said that the 11-year sentence was the right one. The videotapes of actual drug deals where he was wearing his uniform and driving his police car to protect the deal and then taking the criminals to I-79 were very scary. Here is the FBI surveillance video of then police chief Don Solomon. Meeting with people Solomon thought were drug dealers, but were actually FBI agents and informants buying police tasers for a supposed drug dealer so that the drug dealer could use the tasers for collection activities was, to say the least, shocking. During a year-long investigation, a secretly shot FBI video also caught Solomon talking about his plans to make a lot of money protecting cocaine dealers. Not only that, but there was another line that got people's attention. He was asked if he wanted to continue acting this way, and he said hell yeah. Solomon took about $7,800 to protect the alleged drug dealers. He will be sent to federal prison, but he will be able to self-report, and he asked the court if he could do prison ministry when he got there. When he gets out of prison, he'll be almost 70 years old, he said on Grant Street. Alan Jennings of Channel 11 News. I'm the best cop money can buy. Well, it looks like all the money in the world couldn't keep that cop and former police chief out of jail. There's a new police chief in town who started his job 6 days ago and is already taking action, charging multiple officers. 6 days on the job and 6 officers are about to be charged. This man got his new job. Seriously, is already making a difference in the community. Let's hear what he has to say. Yeah, some of these officers were caught today when they were apparently surprised at home and taken into custody. At least one of them was caught on the highway as Michigan State Police followed him from a certain location. The chief was able to get himself and his wife to the Ipswich State Police Post to turn himself in. Former police chief Mike St. Andre and his wife Sandy were both charged but released for the evening. I'm kinda glad it's over. He's only been on the job for 6 days and already Robert Dickerson has suspended 4 officers for misconduct. Today, his predecessor, former Chief Mike St. Andre, was charged. But Dickerson wanted to take harsh action earlier this week, and I was ready to fire him. However, as I told you on the phone last week, they had direction and supervision from the chief, and he pretty much gave his approval to what they were doing with the investigation. Action News has learned that 4 of the 6 officers charged today are the same 4 members of the Romulus Police Special Investigations Unit who were suspended without pay for 30 days last week. So, how did these corrupt cops react to their life sentences? Some of them were defiant, refusing to believe that they had done anything wrong. Others were remorseful, apologizing for their crimes and the pain they had caused. But regardless of their reactions, there is no doubt that these cops deserve to be punished. Their crimes were serious, and they betrayed the public trust. Their life sentences are a reminder that no one is above the law, not even those who are sworn to uphold it. This video is a reminder that corruption is a serious problem, and that we must do everything we can to prevent it. We must hold our law enforcement officers accountable, and we must demand transparency and integrity from all of our public servants. Thank you for watching this video. Please share it with your friends and family and help us to raise awareness of this important issue.